the new curriculum USA. Right now, I want to reading about literal reading, and then the title is U.S. Cities, Past and Present. Dr. Charles Adrian, a political science professor at the University of California at Riverside, has made a 20-year study of the problems of American cities. The results are presented in a book called History of American City Government, 1775 to 1870. The problems of the nation's cities, pollution, crime, riots, a lack of planning, transportations are bad, but they were worse in the so-called good old days. According to Dr. Charles Adrian, he gives pollution from automobiles as one example. He agrees that it may be bad now, but he states that there was a lot of pollution from horses and other animals in American cities in the 19th century. Most cities had their own slaughterhouses, where cows and pigs were killed a century ago. They were careless about throwing out the remains of the animals and that sort of thing, he said. And the sewer system for waste disposal was almost non-existent. Some of the problems that bothered people living in the cities during that period are still with us: poor planning, problems in low-income neighborhoods, police relations, and public transportation. Pollution was a very important problem for city governments in the last century, particularly with regard to water supplies, Dr. Adrian said. They had some idea that water could be polluted, but they didn't know how trying to get pure water was a big problem. People like to talk about the good old days, but actually the cities of the 19th century were dirty and, in many ways, filthier than today. Communicable disease was a great concern. There was still smallpox and also yellow fever, malaria, cholera, and typhoid. The infant death rate was high, and there were other dangers as well. It is true that people were not being killed by cars. However, they often were killed or seriously injured by runaway horses. It was quite common, Dr. Adrian said. Crime was a great concern then too, according to Dr. Adrian. Mugging wasn't as common then, he said, but it did exist. Pickpockets were very skilled too. Also, from the 1830s on, there were a lot of Somerset riots. That wasn't just something from the 1960s. There were several causes, but basically it was because many people moved to the cities from rural areas. Planning of cities and their neighborhoods was controlled by land speculators and real estate developers, who were only interested in making money. Finally, Dr. Adrian thinks that the situations and problems facing American cities have not changed so much, and he suggests that we look back at the past and try to learn from it. And that is all from me. I'm Nurmesa Brulana. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.